Heyo! And what's up, everybody? Welcome to the debut edition of the SuperStar Spotlight, the all-new show brought to you exclusively by Sledgehammer TV and the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. I am your host, Nick Nightmare, and this week, in the debut edition, we are going to feature the monster among men, Braun Strowman. And we're going to kick it off by being a little honest, and I hope you enjoy the show. I wasn't a big fan of Braun Strowman after his removal from the Wyatt family. The brand split did him absolutely no favors. At first, with a seemingly endless stream of squash matches, nonsensical squash matches that prompted most of us to quickly fall out of favor with WWE's newest and resident giant, making me personally want him to go back to his regular life and whatever day job. But over the course of the year, Braun Strowman has developed into an awesome talent, being pretty good on the mic and delivering epic moments on Raw and pay-per-views more often than not. Following his brutal backstage rampage against Roman Reigns and the destruction of the ring in a match with the Big Show, Strowman's stock has never been higher. How should the WWE go forward with the monster among men? Let's talk about it right now. We have 5, because I like the number 5. As you know, check out the other show, Gimme 5. This was almost a Gimme 5, but I wanted to do it this way. 5 big things that need to happen moving forward with Braun Strowman. Number 1, at the upcoming Payback pay-per-view event, he should not be defeated by Roman Reigns. It's being rumored to be an ambulance match, which is great because in that case, neither man has to take a pinfall. But realistically, Braun should win this match because he's got all the momentum in the world and he's the future of this company. It's not Roman Reigns. All their attention and all their focus should be put on Braun Strowman and making him the number 1 guy in the company. Number 2, he needs to continue to run absolutely rampant on Raw, taking out every single person in his path, leading him to the Intercontinental Championship, taking it from possibly Dean Ambrose at SummerSlam this summer in Brooklyn, which I hope to be at. Number 3, once he is the Intercontinental Champion, he should do nothing but destroy everybody that tries to take it from him. The guys could even band together and be like, we need to get the belt off of that beast or none of us will ever be the champion again. And one by one, he just keeps knocking them out, taking them down. Whoever it is in the mid-card, that's how you can get over stupid pieces of trash like Titus O'Neil and all these other mid-card nobodies. Just throw them in against Braun Strowman. Maybe they have a good match. Maybe they just go down to the champion monster. Bring some notoriety to the Intercontinental Championship, putting it on a guy who can actually wrestle, who is good on the mic. Should be pretty damn good if you ask me. And have it go on right up until around maybe Survivor Series or so, as he gets tired of defending the Intercontinental Championship and offers it up to management, whoever it is at the time, Kurt Angle most likely. Here, I don't want this anymore. I'm tired of defending it. Nobody's going to beat me for it. I don't want this one. I want the Universal Championship. And then you begin that story. Strowman at the Survivor Series, possibly in the interpromotional Raw vs. SmackDown match, is teamed up with the champion against SmackDown for Raw, and they have their first confrontation there, teasing it a little bit. But the most important thing that comes next would be number 4, which would be you have Braun Strowman enter and win the Royal Rumble, setting up Strowman versus either Brock Lesnar or Samoa Joe, hopefully, at WrestleMania 34 in New Orleans next year. And number 5, Strowman wins the title at WrestleMania 34. putting him amongst the upper echelon talent, having him go over against somebody the likes of Brock Lesnar or Samoa Joe. As far as that goes, you could have Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar battling for the title at Survivor Series or at the Royal Rumble, and the winner will go on to fight Braun Strowman. Either way, that's a great match. That's a great friggin' match. Either way. And then once he's the champion, you can have Jeff Hardy versus Braun Strowman, Finn Balor versus Braun Strowman, or rematches for Joe and Brock. All for the Universal title now, which elevates the title, because look at the contenders that are being thrown at Braun, and Braun's just swatting them down, which eventually allows you to lead up to somebody. And it could be anybody coming up from NXT. It could be Shinsuke Nakamura. It could be AJ Styles, depending on if they do a shakeup again or a draft by the time WrestleMania comes around. Somebody will slay the monster among men, making that person a superstar, because no one has been able to defeat Braun Strowman. He was not pinned for the Intercontinental title. Even after he loses the World Heavyweight Championship eventually, he could always go back and be like, hey, listen, by the way, that's mine. I never lost that. So I'm coming back for it. I just gave it up. So you guys have just been playing tag with my toy. And I want my toy back. You set up that little nugget so that when you take him out of the main title picture, you can do something interesting with him and continue storylines, continuity. It would be absolutely fantastic if this is the way they decided to go with Braun Strowman. Concurrently, right now they're planning possibly Jeff Hardy versus Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. I can deal with that. And do they give it to Jeff Hardy? They could. His star is definitely bright enough to do that. But putting him to the side for Braun Strowman might be the better choice. Or at least my heavy thing is Samoa Joe. Allow Braun Strowman to run rampant outside of the title picture. Establish him as the threat that he's supposed to be. That's what they got to do. Whatever you want to do with the World Heavyweight Championship up until WrestleMania, do whatever you want. Trade it between Joe and Brock is probably the way I would do it. I expect maybe Finn Balor to get his hands back on it. Possibly Jeff Hardy, because Vince is very high on him getting a title run. This is what might possibly happen in reality. But in my world, that's what it would be. Either Brock Lesnar or Samoa Joe, because you're pretty much trading apples for apples in that scenario. And going up against Braun Strowman winning the Universal Championship from them at WrestleMania 34 in New Orleans. What do you think about that, everybody? Let me know what you think about everything I've laid out. This is how Braun Strowman can save wrestling. And that is the Superstar Spotlight on Braun Strowman. And I am Nick Nightmare. This is Blue, the Snowball Microphone, and I am out of here. Thank you for watching.